Hi, my name is Durrie Bouscaren. I am the Istanbul correspondent for a podcast and radio show in the U.S. It's called The World. We cover global issues for an hour, mostly in the evenings. And I've lived in Istanbul for about 4 years now. I moved there after working for local NPR stations in the U.S. So I covered the local news, and I was like in the newsroom. I kept getting distracted by what was happening in other parts of the world because we would have CNN on on all the time. And then after a while, I saved up enough money to start freelancing, moved to Turkey, and then eventually got this job.
Why Turkey? You just got the position in Turkey, yeah? in Istanbul.
Well, I started as a freelancer.
Yeah, freelance.
And at the time, I had a certain amount of money saved, and I was like, okay, where can I try and just become a journalist? And I had, I was looking at different cities. Beirut was an option. Cairo was an option. They were all cities I was really interested in.
Yeah.
And what it boiled down to was Turkey was pretty affordable, had really good mass transportation. The bus system and subway system is amazing, so I didn't need to buy a car.
But have you been before you, no?
Never.
Never. Okay, that's quite risky.
Yeah.
I've been many times in Turkey, mostly Istanbul and Ankara. They are big universities.
Yeah.
The first option, international conferences and seminars, and I've been also with my family a couple of times for holiday, and that was amazing. Yeah. In Kemer, Antalya, in this region.
Okay.
Have you been there?
Of course, yes.
You've been there.
Yeah, we go camping there, we go swimming. It's
Are you going to stay for a longer time in Turkey?
I don't know yet.
It depends on you or on the what is your employee?
It depends on my job, for sure.
Yeah.
It depends on my family.
Yeah, it is a private company.
The World, it's it's distributed by PRX and WGBH, which in the U.S. Our public radio system is distributed often by university-based stations. It came out of the 1930s when they were inventing radio, and professors would put college classes on the radio for farmers to listen to.
I have a look.
Yeah.
On the site. Yeah, but just overlooked. Yeah, at no time. But I want to know what is the broadcasting company and all.
Yeah. It's a show that airs on NPR, which is like our BBC basically.
Yeah.
It's public broadcasting. There's a small amount of public funding. There's also private funding from donations from listeners and
it's covering many issues. Yeah, many from agriculture to world politics and so on, yeah?
Exactly. A lot of world politics. I like agriculture stories. They're some of my favorites.
So, and then how did you come to idea to come to Kazakhstan, Almaty? You are also here first time, yeah?
It's my first time, yeah.
First time. And how you decided, or somebody decided you should go to Kazakhstan?
I pitched it. Yeah. I told my editor I thought it would be a good idea.
Okay, and about cuisine of the people living here in Kazakhstan, is it your focus?
I'm doing multiple stories, and one of them has been in the news recently with a lot of people in Russia who are trying to avoid the draft to fight in Ukraine. They're coming to Kazakhstan. There's 200,000 people. Yeah.
50 around.
Well, like in the first 2 weeks, 200,000 people came through, and not everyone has stayed. Well, it was a lot of people, and it's, I cover migration because I'm based in Istanbul. People from almost every, world conflict come through there.
Actually.
Really?
Yeah, I'm studying 30 years long international migrations, and my main book is in 3 volumes, The History of Korean Immigration.
Exactly.
Worldwide. Yeah. That's why I travel a lot. Yeah.
Yeah.
Everywhere where Korean diaspora are living. So.
Right.
So there are few Koreans in Colorado, I think.
Yeah. I mean, now that I think of it, growing up, I definitely had friends in school. Yeah.
Some.
Actually, one of my best friends is South Korean.
Oh yeah, interesting.
Yeah, she was adopted.
Okay. Did you make any progress in discovering for you this cuisine of Koryo saram?
Absolutely.
Yeah?
Yeah, I mean, so when we plan our reporting trips, usually we'll have one main issue that we're going, and then we'll say, okay, what else do we, since we don't have correspondents in every country, being in Kazakhstan, I wanted to cover as many stories as I could.
Okay.
And one of the first things that popped out to me was the cuisine of the Koryo saram.
Okay.
And I saw a couple of blog posts about the young ladies who sell kimchi and prepared foods in the Yeshil Bazaar. And it stood out to me because this is my first time in Kazakhstan.
Yeah.
I didn't, honestly, at the beginning, I had no idea of the history here. But I really
not
love
only you know, these Russians
it surprised
which come
me.
to Kazakhstan, they are all surprised because these stereotypes about Kazakhstan, they are all wrong. They come and they are, like astonished. The people, food and everything, bank system, etc.
Yeah, I mean, I knew the history of Kazakhstan, like with the Silk Road, and I had some friends who had come and covered like climate change issues, so I knew about the geography. I did not know as much about the history.
So you would like to come again?
Of course.
Yeah. And any chance that the world will establish a branch? There is no branch in CIS, or in Moscow.
So the way we work is we have correspondents, but usually the correspondents start out as freelancers, and then we...
They are local?
Yeah.
Oh, they are local people,
So sometimes, like half and half, about.
Yeah.
And so usually someone who's been working for the world for a while will become a correspondent, and so it kind of depends on where they're based. So if they, if they happen to live in
Central Asia is recently quite important region.
Absolutely.
In geopolitics and geoeconomics, taking in consideration we are so rich in mineral resources and so on. And then the culture here in Central Asia is so diverse and mixed. That's a good sample to do interesting projects or programs and so. Tell to your boss you should open here the branch, and then you'll come here. We'll be here, the boss.
I think it's a really fascinating country. It's also, I'm also super interested in countries that are sort of on the edge of different big things happening, where people who are affected by those things are leaving and coming here. Turkey's a lot like that. Kazakhstan is like that. I think it's an important city to look at climate change and the effects of that. And I also really am fascinated by sort of this emerging identity of Kazakhstan, where young people are getting excited about speaking Kazakh or about their individual identities. If they're Korean, for example. And I think that's a really interesting thing, sort of like the Central Asia after the fall of the Soviet Union, sort of where are these countries now and what's their future?
Right. So this, Istanbul is not far from Almaty. You
5 hours.
On a flight. It's not far, and you can actually visit twice or in a year. Maybe that will be enough for your projects, but if you want to enjoy, just to enjoy the life, you can enjoy the life.
I need to come back as a tourist, for sure.
Especially in Almaty, not in other states, not in the capital of Kazakhstan, but in Almaty you can enjoy life. As many foreigners and the expats, they love Almaty.
There's so many trees and so many parks. Being here in fall is so nice.
And it's quite comfortable, you know, and quite safe place. Yeah, and the people here are so mixed in ethnic region, different in culture, customs, religions, food, and Okay, and you made already interview with some local Koreans.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Have you been in Korean restaurants?
Of course,
Yeah.
yes. So one thing I wanted to kind of interview you about was it seems like there's been a surge in interest in Korean culture here. And I was really curious about how that interplays with the local Korean community. I mean, does it feel like the South Korean soft power of K-pop and
So
skincare
we are switching now to softly to my interview, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay.
This is where you're the expert.
You can ask me.
Okay.
I can
Okay.
remember all the questions.
Sure.
One by one. Yeah.
Okay. Do you want to film when I
Yeah,
interview
it's
you?
all around.
Okay.
Yeah, it's
Okay.
all around. Yeah.
That way you can have a